Hey guys, it's Raychich again, and in this video I'm excited to showcase my updated endgame Judgement Paladin build. And with this build I've been comfortably farming 300 corruption without any deaths, without any problems. I just was one-shotting bosses in 3 seconds, so I haven't tested it in 500 plus corruption, but I believe it has the potential to handle it higher corruption levels. So if you haven't seen my previous video about this build detailing the progression, I highly recommend checking it out. But in this video I will discuss the numerous changes and improvements I've made since then. So these adjustments have significantly enhanced the build's damage, movement speed, survivability, so everything. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment below with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's dive in and explore the details of this powerful build. So let's start with the basics. My character now is at level 92. And my maximum health is 3600, which is quite enough for the end game. And I mean, I have this amount without any idols for the maximum health, so I decided to use idols for damage instead of health. So 3600 health will be enough to farm your monoliths till corruption 500. It's 100%. About the defense mechanics, this build has 65% block chance, which is probably amazing. And about block effectiveness, it has 39% block effectiveness. Also 40% armor is 2100 armor, and all the resistances are capped, of course, I mean, except poison. It has 83% movement speed, which is quite fast, especially considering that we can use shield rush. We just use your judgment because we have it only like an aura. We don't need to recast it every second. We just need to recast it every 15 seconds or something. So you use your judgment and you can use your shield charge, and every enemy will just die in one tick of this judgment. So yeah, it's pretty good synergy between shield rush and judgment. Yeah, and 83% movement speed is quite a lot, I guess, because like I decided to make this character pretty fast as we want to kill enemies just within our aura. So yeah, about my skill gems, what I actually made since the last video. If you don't know how this build works, I mean, you can watch the previous video, or I can just explain it in a few seconds. It's a paladin. Our main source of damage is judgment. We just use it and it will be working as an aura, and we will deal this aura damage, and monsters or bosses will be taking this damage, and they will be dead pretty soon. Also, we have Holy Aura, which we use to get more damage and more resistances, and also we have Symbols of Hope here that we use to increase our healing, because when we use our judgment, we got Consecrated Ground, and it gives spell damage, and also it gives healing. So, and I mean, our healing effectiveness also affects our damage. So as much healing effectiveness you have on your character, as much damage, bonus damage you will have on your character, right? So, and Symbols of Hope we use for a bonus ward right here, so bonus defense and more healing, I mean regeneration. And also we have Javelin right here. You can ask me, why do I have Javelin right now? Because I was playing recently with healing hands, but then I decided to swap to Javelin because of this mechanic right here. Let me just show you right here. So it gives directly using Javelin and hitting an enemy causes your next judgment to deal more damage. So it gives 60% more judgment damage. And also this Javelin, when we use it, so actually basically you just use it only against big bosses, so you don't need to spam it in your maps. In your maps you shouldn't care about anything, you just need to use judgment, sometimes use Holy Aura and move with your shield rush. But if you will be at low HP, but it will be very rarely, you can use Symbols of Hope to get a bonus defense. But basically against bosses, so imagine this portal here is a boss. We just use Javelin to get a bonus for our judgment, bonus damage, I mean. And also you see this fire pass, it gives fire damage over time against bosses, so it's a bonus damage against the bosses, and also it actually heals our character a lot. So with Judgment and Javelin, when we stand on this fire pass, it gives really a lot of regeneration of life. So yeah, it's basically why I swapped my healing hands for Javelin. About my skill gems right now, you see that I have 26 points on my judgment. Here's my passive tree for my judgment. You can just copy it, and also detailed guide will be in the link in the description. So guys, I got you, everything's gonna be fine. So you just need to take everything that I have here for damage, for area, for healing effectiveness, which, as I said before, gives Consecrated Ground, gain 1 spell damage per 5% increased healing effectiveness. So basically it works like as damage also as well. And here you need to take 4 more this aura duration. And the last one, and the most important here, is to make actually our judgment to cast this Consecrated Ground as an aura, right? So here's my passive tree for Symbols of Hope. As I said before, just copy it from my from the link in the description, or just from this my screen right now. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We just need it to actually you can just think about Symbols of Hope as a main source of extra defense that you need against bosses, against a lot of rare monsters, a lot of champions. So right, yeah. The next one is Holy Aura. We need it for more resistances, for more damage, endurance, health regen. So yeah, you just need to spam it, or you can not spam it, but when you do cast it, it gives more benefits, but basically it also gives passively more damage and additional elemental resistances. About Symbols of Hope, what I really wanted to say, guys, you don't need to spam it in your maps, because when you use it, you use the Symbols of Hope and you lose some percent of your damage. So use it only as a source of defense, because when you use it, you lower your damage a bit. So yeah, keep it in mind. Here's my skill tree for the shield for the shield rush. We just use it as for our movement skill, right? And here's my passive tree for the Javelin. We just use it for Sacred Forge right here for more judgment damage, and also for damage over time against bosses. So why not, actually? So it was everything about my skill passives. Right now I will be talking about my items updates, because I really made a lot of updates since the last video, and you actually wrote me a lot of messages in comment section below the last video, and also on my Discord, to make this video as soon as possible with the update. So you want it? I got you. I actually changed almost every item in this build, and let me just tell you about everything here. So my helmet now, I chose to wear a Decayed Skull, because basically this item is pretty cheap, so you can buy with 2 LP, and it's not if you run, I mean, if you run the Searching of Fortune Merchant Guild. So I mean, if you run Merchant Guilds like I do, it will be pretty easy. Or you can just farm this this helmet, because it's pretty common to drop. It gives 29% of our armor mitigation, applies to damage over time, and as you probably know, Judgment has this damage over time tag, so it scales our damage, it gives armor, and also it's pretty easy to buy or to farm with 2 LP. And about my 2 LP, I have 2 mods. So on this legendary item, I have +7 to vitality, which gives health, and also 20% increased health. So basically this helmet gives almost 500 health, so it's pretty good one and pretty cheap. The next one is my amulet. So I have here my amulet with increased healing effectiveness for more damage, increased damage over time for more damage. So chance to ignite on hit is pretty trash here, but +98 to health is pretty good. The next one is my body armor. So this one is pretty good, because it gives 107% increased fire damage over time, which gives the damage itself, also 25% increased maximum health and +100 to health, and also sealed elemental resistances. We don't care about these elemental resistances, but I mean, these first 3 mods are pretty good. So with this armor I have 3600 health, but without, I mean, it gives basically 700 health. It's pretty amazing. So yeah, buy something like this. About my weapon, I just swapped my wand for the unique Aberrant Command Scepter, and I will explain actually why. Because basically the basic item gives +55 to melee damage and +56 to spell damage, and basically our Judgment has both stacks, so spell and melee, so it's just a double scaled because of the basic item here. It's really good base, and also it gives 262% increased damage over time. Also it gives 22% increased area for area skills, but to be honest, I don't see this bonus area. But 262% increased damage over time is pretty good, and also I combined it with my exalted item with 204 increased damage over time. So basically only the scepter gives me total 466 increased damage over time, and plus 101 flat damage, I mean melee damage plus spell because of the base. So yeah, I really recommend you to buy this one. With 1 LP it's pretty cheap, or if you playing Assertion of fortune is pretty easy to farm. The next one is my shield. This legendary, this unique shield I combined with exalted item and chose plus 26% to block chance. As I remember, it's tier 7, right? Really do recommend you to combine this unique shield with tier 7 block chance. Also, this shield has really good amount of block effectiveness, so it's 757. Also, +1 to judgment, our main source of defense or of damage, and also increased healing effectiveness, which is actually considered as a bonus damage in this build. So yeah, I guess this is the best really cheap shield that you can use on this build. So the next one is my belt. I crafted this belt maybe three or 4 hours ago, and I really like this build because it gives a lot. It gives elemental damage over time, it gives fire damage because our judgment is a fire skill. Also, it gives plus flat health and plus hybrid health. So yeah, both my rings, my left ring is a exalted ring. About the modifiers, it has increased damage over time, also healing effectiveness, and crit strike avoidance, and block chance and block effectiveness. Because in the previous video I just wanted to make this build as much powerful as possible, so to scale my damage, but in this video I just wanted to scale both my damage and defense. So now this build is pretty tanky. My second ring is pretty cheap and actually is the same ring from the last video, but it just gives swiftness. It's just a 20% bonus movement speed, bonus armor, and so an attribute. So why not? And actually I combined this with exalted modifier, increased spell damage, but I do recommend you to combine this unique ring with to maximum health, because spell damage is not as good as maximum health here. But yeah, here's what I have. Bought my glows. It's pretty not the best right now, but it gives attunement, which actually scales our judgment. It gives damage over time, so for bonus damage, and it gives a really good amount of health, and stun chance is just trash, so that's what I have right now. My boots are unique but now legendary, Julia's Path, and I just combined this boots with increased movement speed. So totally these boots gives me 57% movement speed. It's pretty a lot, and what is really good about these boots is pretty cheap option, and also it gives increased healing effectiveness, which is pretty good for this build. And the last item, and maybe the most important as for me right now, is my idol. So Coat of an Erased Sentinel. Actually it gives a lot to me right now, but because I have good modifiers. So if you don't know how it works, this item had Weaver's Wheel, so it will be gaining you new mods and upgrading them unpredictably when you just kill enemies. So I have a lot of this. Let me just show you. I have really a lot of these relics, but here is the relics with Weaver's Wheel without, I haven't played with them and I will not be. And here's relic with modifier. So here's the bad, outcome from this relic, so no actually good mods. Here is the not bad because it gives +4 to Javelin, and here is the tier 2 relic. So this is the best that I got, and this is my previous one because it has increased elemental damage over time. So basically, to scale your chances to gain this relic, what you need to do, you need to put these relics here, and it will scale your chance to get these relics. And this relic can be dropped everywhere, so it's really easy. I just got this amount of relics in just 2 hours. So, and then you just equip them and hope for good skills. You need to get +4 to judgment and also healing effectiveness, and also I get health here, so it's pretty amazing one. It's not as hard as you probably think. Just it will take 2 maybe 3 hours to get +4 to judgment relic or +3 to judgment relic, but yeah, so it's not as hard as you probably think. But my idols are almost the same as in previous videos. So I have for fire damage over time here, and also crafted, rerolled armor and armor mitigation, also applies to damage over time, also spell damage while using a shield. Here the same one, but with increased healing effectiveness. So healing effectiveness, fire damage over time, or just damage over time is that what you need to target. That's all about my items, idols, skill points, and my just a typical a character level, block chance, effectiveness, armor, and everything. So I just wanted to make this video as soon as possible, guys, because you really asked me a lot of times, and here it is. everything you need to know about this build to progress it further and more and grind your corruption. I really think this build can farm basically 500 corruption and plus with this setup. And anyway, if you would like this video, and write the comments, I will just continue progressing it to 1000 corruption with the future update. So thank you so much for your time, for your attention. It was Raychich as always, and yeah, take care and goodbye.